Today our topic is coal and petroleum, such like natural resources. There are many planets in the universe, but Earth is the only planet known to us which supports life. As per science, the Earth came into being around 4,500 million years ago. So the first life forms appeared on it around 3,500 million years ago. So conducive conditions on Earth make life possible here. The first life forms that appeared on the Earth were unicellular. It means that they were made up of single cells. It took millions of years for these simpler forms of life to slowly evolve into higher forms of life. So this resulted in countless species of animals and plants which exist on the earth today. So the conditions on earth that let living things originate and survive here are materials like water, soil, air, minerals, etc., which are required by all living things to survive. Distance of Earth from the Sun is right. Unlike other planets, the Earth is the only planet that is neither too close nor too far from the Sun. So therefore, it has the right temperature range or right from the Sun. So therefore, it has the right temperature range for living things. The light energy received from the sun is one of the most significant factors required for life to continue on Earth. Now we are talking about utilization of resources. Plants require water and minerals from the soil, carbon dioxide from the air, and sunlight to prepare food. So the process of plants preparing food using these is known as photosynthesis. And animal require food, water and oxygen to stay alive. So they get water from water bodies such as rivers, lakes and ponds, oxygen from air and food from plants and other animals. So like animals, we also need water, air and food. So notably we use the resources of earth in many other ways as well. So they are given below, such like number one is we use soil and rocks to make house, dams, roads, etc. We use metals like copper, aluminium and iron for making aeroplanes, vehicles, machines, bridges, etc. We use fuels. We use fuels like petroleum and natural gas, coal, etc. So for running machines and cooking food and producing electricity. So natural materials on earth are very important for the existence of life. They satisfy the condition of life on earth. They are called natural resources. Animals and plants are living natural resources. Soil, water, air and minerals are non-living natural resources. We get these natural resources from water bodies like rivers, seas, lakes on the earth, and the solid parts of the earth's crust. Many kinds of gases surrounding the earth regarded as the atmosphere. Now we are talking about the other point, renewable and non-renewable source. So first of all, renewable sources are those that will either never run out, or those that can be replenished within a reasonable period of time through natural processes. For example, sunlight. Sunlight is a resource that will never end. Wind is also an inexhausting resources. Oxygen is renewable as it is replaced in the atmosphere by plants when they release oxygen during photosynthesis. So solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy and bioenergy are some other examples of renewable resources of energy. Still, most renewable resources are exhaustible if they are used faster than they are renewed, or if we disturb the natural process of their renewable. For example, groundwater is replenishable, and however, nowadays we are using it faster than it is replenished. So this is the reason why the groundwater level is declining fast. So unlike renewable resources, non-renewable resources cannot be replenished within a reasonable period of time. So for example, fuels like petroleum, coal or natural gas take millions of years to form. So hence, once consumed, they cannot be renewed before millions of years. So in the same way, after the topsoil is eroded, it cannot be replaced immediately. Yet, a few non-renewable sources like metals can be used again and again. So these non-renewable resources can be recycled. Now we are talking about conservation of resources. So it is true that all life on earth, bank upon the earth's resources. So all resources, be it renewable or non-renewable, so should be conserved. Conservation means judicious and optimum use of resources. It means resources should not be wasted and their quality should be maintained. So some decades ago, we did not pay much attention to conservation. So consequently, we have wasted much of our resources. Today, conservation has become very important for us. There are two prime reasons for this. Firstly, with the passage of time, the population of the world has increased. Now, more people use more resources to fulfill their needs. Secondly, the needs of human beings have grown manifold as they have progressed. So, for instance, the average resources used by a person have increased sustainability. So, due to these, two reasons. So our natural resources are exhausting quicker than they should. So this often causes an imbalance in nature. This imbalance reflects in air, water, and soil pollution and a decline in the animals and plant population. So all this means is that our existence will be in danger if we do not practice conservation. So now we are talking about fuel. Fuels contain potential energy that is locked within the chemical bonds of their constituent molecules. A large part of this energy is released as heat when they are burned. This form the basis of their use as fuels, either as a free element or in the combined state. All common fuels contain carbon. Now we are talking about fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, petroleum, natural gas, and coal are formed naturally from the dead remains of living and organisms. So they are called fossil fuels. So coal takes millions of years to form inside the earth from dead plants. Natural gas and petroleum are formed from dead sea animals. This process also takes over millions of years. So all animals and plants eventually extract their energy from the sun. So the energy of fossil fuels is also indirectly extracted from the sun. So there are many sources of energy, but fossil fuels are the most important source of energy. They give off light and heat on burning and are concentrated stores of energy. So the heat can be used to run engines like automobiles, engines, or to cook food. It is also, you can say that it is also used to produce electricity as in powerhouses. So the most common fuel used here is coal. As we know that coal is a fossil fuel. It is hard as a stone and black in color. So it took millions of years for it to form through gradual decay and compression of buried remains of ancient forests. There were thick forests in low-lying wetland areas on the earth. Nearly 300 million years ago, these trees got covered with mud and sand when they died. So now more trees grew on this mud and sand, and you can say that they got covered when they died. So at times you can say that volcanoes and earthquakes also buried all trees. Volcanoes and earthquakes also buried all trees deep down in the earth. So the process continued for hundreds of years. The high pressure deep down the earth This process continued for hundreds of years. So the high pressure and high temperature inside the earth gradually converted the builded vegetation into coal. So the process of conservation of wood into coal in the absence of air is called carbonization. So the coal formed in much depth, and we can say that contains more carbon and less moisture. The period of time during which coal formation took place is known as the Carboniferous age and Carboniferous age. So coal is chiefly made of carbon, small amounts of nitrogen and sulfur. As we have hydrogen and oxygen, two are present in it. So there are mainly three types of coal that do not have equal carbon content in them. First of all, bituminous coal. Bituminous coal has around 65% carbon content. Second is anthracite. Anthracite has up to 96% of carbon content, and it is termed as the best variety of coal. Lignite. Lignite has the least carbon content. It has only 38% carbon. Coal mainly produces carbon dioxide gas when it is heated in air. Coal is widely used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. It is also used as a domestic and industrial fuel. Many states in India have coal mines. However, they are mainly found in Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal and Jharkhand. Now we are talking about destructive distillation of coal. In destructive distillation of coal, coal is heated strongly to 100 degrees Celsius in the absence of air. So it yields different useful inorganic and organic products. These products are coke. So it is obtained by the distillation of bituminous variety of coal. It is black in color and dark and porous. So it makes a clean fuel. During distillation, the more volatile components like gases, stars, and moisture escape. It is used in taking out iron from iron oxide in a blast and in the manufacture of steel by bituminous process. So now we are talking about coal gas. It is a mixture of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, methane, hydrogen and other gases. It was earlier used for lighting and cooking, but is not used much now. Now coal tar. Coal tar, it is a thick black liquid mixture of many carbon compounds which smells of naphthalene. Distillation of coal tar yields several fractions that include xylene, benzene, naphthalene, anthracene, etc. So now we are talking about ammonium compound. Often during the destructive distillation of coal, they give ammonical liquid when dissolved in water. Now we are talking about petroleum. So petroleum is a mixture of hydrocarbons with the number of carbon atom in the molecules varying from 1 to more than 100. So different components in petroleum are segregated and utilized in different ways. So their most important use is as fuel. Kerosene, diesel and petrol are some of the fuels obtained from petroleum. Now we are talking about origin. It is believed that petroleum took millions of years to form. It is made up of living organisms that lived in the sea at that time. So the bodies of these organisms settled on the seabed when they died, and their bodies got covered with sand and clay, and pressure and heat changed the dead organisms into petroleum hydrocarbons over millions of years. Now we are talking about occurrence. The world's first oil well to yield petroleum was dug in Pennsylvania, USA in 1859. In India, oil was first struck in Makam in Assam in 1869.